Hi everyone! Welcome to the Knitting Machine course channel, the place where we're together learning how to operate an electronic knitting machine. And today I want to try 4 methods of casting on. So first I will move forward (20 needles, and this is a lovely trick so that we can put a laundry clip on the end of the yarn, and in this case it's gonna hang. And the first method which I want to try called wrap. So I need to put the thread between the first and the second needle and make a wrap like this, between second and third like this, and so on. At the end, now I can place my thread in a thread feeder in carriage. Here's the setup of the carriage. Cam lever is in position O. My stitch size is 4. Russell levers in position 2 on both sides, and these waving knobs in position O in upright position. Move forwards and backward all my loops, and now I'm gonna make my first row. As I'm not ready yet to place weights on my loops, I will move forward all the needles one more time. Place back my yarn, my knitting, and make a second row. This is the edge which we have as a result of wrap. I will move it a bit closer so you can see the finish here as well. This is very elastic edge. You see it's deforming well, and it's clearly curly even after blocking and ironing. The next method of casting on, which I want to try, is alternative of wrap. So we're starting with placing the thread between the second and the first needle, and make the wrap around the first needle, and after that we do the second round of wrap between the second and the third needle, and place the yarn in the hook of the needle 1 and make a stitch. Now we place again between the second and third needle, and yarn go in the first needle and make a stitch. Again wrap between around second needle, yarn in the first, make a stitch. Needles have to be on the same level. This will guarantee that the edge will be beautiful and even. Depending how far you're moving needles, it also will be the tension on the edge, how tight will be the edge. So if you move a bit needles further, it's going to be looser edge. and if you move them a bit closer to the gate pegs, it will be tighter. And the last one, we just do the wrap around the last needle and make a stitch. Here you can see the edge after blocking and ironing. So it's look like this. Also on this swatch, you can see that I did here not such a good job. This is also a very elastic edge, comparable to eave wrap, and it's also curvy. Now it's a turn of casting on method with latch tool. And place latch tool in the loop, place it between first and the second needle, catch the yarn and do the stitch. Now I'm placing it between second and third needle, catch the yarn, and make a stitch. And so on. And if you need some break or you need to pick up the phone, you can always leave it like this and continue later. And the last one, the loop, we are placing on the needle like this. Thread goes between the last needle and the previous one, this way. And now we can place it in a feather of carriage. Here's the result of the casting on method with latch tool. You can see that it's very good looking. Also you can look at small and swatch. It's rather elastic and also a little bit curvy. Now I'm gonna try a very interesting casting on method. It starts with the eave wrap, how we know it. Placing yarn in a carriage. And make the first row. Now I'm moving forward my needles. Switch Russell's levers in the position 1, so it's a partial knitting, and make the second. Now I'm removing the yarn from the feather. Move my knitting bit front, and now with the latch tool I'm starting to do a very interesting knitting process. So first I started it, I catch it at the back of the knitting. Now moving latch to in front of the knitting and catch the yarn and make a stitch. After that I'm going behind the knitting, catch the yarn and make a stitch. Now again in front of knitting, catching yarn and make a stitch. Behind, oh, oh, oh. Then behind. And in front. And on the last needle we're placing the loop on the needle. Pull the thread between first and second needle and place it in the feather of carriage. Move everything back. Cross the levers in a position 2 and start knitting. Let's take a look at the result. This is very interestingly looking edge, and it's also not very curving, so it can be used on its own in the garment.